Good evening, hello, welcome. As ever, I'm Chris, this is Gross Models, and this is An Evening with the Gang. It's just time for us to, hang around, chat about whatever comes to mind, kill a bit of time for an hour, hour and a half, that sort of time. Have a look through the Gross group, which I've put a little banner across the bottom there. Look, you can go and join that, put some pictures up there of stuff we've been working on. We'll go through that in a little while, and basically just continue on. With me this evening, we have Dad. He's joined us. Mike Mountain, Scaly Models.
Oh, hi Chris. Hello everyone.
You've obviously been sitting at home for a little while. Are you right?
Yeah, as we all have, keeping busy, trying to.
That's the important thing, isn't it? Things to do and keep going and doing stuff. So yeah.
Yeah.
Let's have a look through the chat so far. Pascal was around ages ago, but the first one I've got is him saying there's 2 hours left. But I think he was there, like 3 o'clock in the morning or a long time ago. Lewis is around as well, and he's not around anymore. He was around, then he had to go off. He actually sent me a message telling me the time and the telly bit, so I can do that for him a bit later on. Ed is obviously in the chat as well, but I'm sure he's not in the chat anymore. He would be before he was on the screen, because we don't do that whole going on the camera while you're typing thing. Andy is about making us wait. Well, only until the official start time. But that's why we have an official start time. If my official start time was an hour ago, then you'd be here 2 hours ago complaining that it wasn't time yet. So that's why we have times. Lewis is on the side of the road in Wales. He's going to bed now because he's got to be up early in the morning to do some more driving around in Wales. Lewis, Andy, Dad, chatting in there. Who else is here? Eric's coming along. Hope all are well, safe, and somewhat remotely sane. Somewhat remotely, yeah. Somewhat remotely is about the total. All we can ever really hope for, let alone anything else. So yeah. Raging Bases is here. What time some of you lot get here? Yeah, some of us lot got here about 4 o'clock. As the first chat that I saw in there, but they were talking before that as if they'd been talking before that. So I don't know. It could have been ages. I thought I was the only one. This was only at 7 o'clock that he put this, only an hour ago. So yeah, you got to get in pretty early in the morning to scare off the people that are there early. Lewis says he was up your way on Saturday.
He was indeed.
He gets around. Talking about what's what. Andy, Dad, Lewis, Dad, Raging Bassist. Raging Bassist, they're talking about being able to park his lorry somewhere. Eric's saying, I know my maths is rubbish, but if Chris is going to do nano blocks as well as the wood kit, is he doing 2 live streams on a Wednesday? No. The Wednesday will purely be the wooden kit thing. That will be the continuing doing the wooden stuff on a Wednesday, hence Wooden Wednesdays. The nano stuff I'll do occasionally throughout the week, wherever, whatever, till I run out and can't get any more because nobody's allowed out for anything. Tomorrow at 1 p.m. I've got another nano day. Friday. It's Friday tomorrow, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because it's Thursday today, because I'm doing this. Of course.
Good Friday. Obviously. Good Friday tomorrow.
Good Friday indeed, a bank holiday sort of thing. So,
day off.
Going out and staying at home and just for a change.
Have a day off.
Yeah. And then we've got Easter Sunday, which will feel like a Sunday, and then Bank Holiday Monday, which will be like a Monday when you don't have to go to work. And
yeah, another day off. Right.
We have 5760 scale models. Where's the number come from? What I can understand if it was 1/72 scale models, but 5760, is it a military thing, or does that number mean anything to you?
No, nothing to me at all, mate. Sorry, I was typing.
It's not saying there's like a military thing or anything. I saw you typing. I saw you.
It could be his last 4 if he was in the army. It could be his last 4 digits.
It could be. Yeah. I just got a picture of like propellers on this name thing there, so I'm assuming it's some sort of aviation or something probably. But Let us know. You
His
might have
shoulder.
already let us know because I can't see the bottom of the chat yet. I haven't got
It
there
was
yet.
his shoulder number when he was a PCSO.
All right. Andy says Nurgles, or Nargles actually, but I don't know, it's the same thing. We have someone else in. We have, hang about, I've got a button. Asking if clothes are optional, which obviously, yes, of course they are. Even if you're on camera, then they're mainly optional. But as long as the top half looks good, we don't really care. Tom's about. It's mostly beer 30 in these parts. It's not quite beer 30. It's on the top of the hour. It can't be. Yeah. Tom may miss the first few minutes for beer retrieval and nicotine refreshment, but I should probably hear by now. Shane's around saying good evening to everybody.
Are you Shane?
See what's going on down there. Nat's about saying good evening, everyone. There we go. There we have. We caught up. 576 high scale model says it was my shoulder number when I was a PCSO a few years back. Okay. Skullfish is telling me that it's Friday tomorrow. It's Friday tomorrow, yes, because it's Thursday today. Yay. I skipped past a few. It jumped up on me. It said, Dad's on the telly, says Skullfish. He is. Look.
Yeah. Ooh.
A combo of Chris's shirt and the light off his forehead is killing the white balance. It looks okay on my screen. I don't know. I mean, Dad's got the whole dark environment behind me going on. I've got a light on, but I don't think it's terrible. I have a little play in my advanced settings. I can take my white balance down a bit if you think that'll help.
Looks all right on mine.
A little bit dimmer, but I can play with brightness and stuff. There you go. Is that better for you? How's that? Is that happier? Makes me look a bit sad and depressed, but I'm not really. But you've got to wear the bright orange sometimes to cheer people up. Jerry's about, evening all, as is Edward. Everyone's typing. Jerry might pop in, but he's roasting a dick currently, so I doubt I can stay. He's just come in, so we'll find out. What's this you've been roasting? What? So I doubt I can stay. It says there, but I don't think that's quite right. Right, you do actually correct. It's a duck. Okay. Yeah. I understand now. Hello, Jerry.
Hello.
Yes, we got Spids in as well.
Is not my friend on my phone.
That's right. It's close enough. Don't get too close to the oven, says Redlin. You've probably already seen that one. Let's just hurry down to the bottom there. We've got Dave's in at Butcher That Model. Evening, Dave. It's 2 days after the day after tomorrow. What? 2 days before the day after tomorrow. Yeah, Friday is the day after 2 days after yesterday. Or I don't know. They're all the same day now, aren't they? It doesn't really make much difference for most of us. Nat says, happy birthday for tomorrow, Swigging Pig. Happy birthday tomorrow, Swigging Pig. I didn't realise, but happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
You have a big party on your own and isolate and stuff and things, but we'll be thinking of you. Dave's moaning that Scott's kicking him under the table.
Yeah.
You look okay here, Chris. It's just Mike is going for moody. Not moody as in, moody, mood lighting rather than mood, I think.
I don't know. More in ambiance.
Yeah, moody lighting.
Scott is here saying that Dave started it, which is, I do believe that. Swigging Big is obviously here as well. Yeah, they're bickering in the chat now. No, I didn't. Yes, you did. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. You're a brave man, regardless. Says Spid. He did a roast duck once and spent hours cleaning the fat up. No wonder the buggers are waterproof.
Yeah. Yes.
So, it's 8:10. We'll do the traditional time and telly for everybody. Lewis has already sent me a message earlier saying that it's the same time zone as me, even though he's in a different country because he's in Wales. But they're the same time zone, and he's watching you on telly. Not you, me, you. He's watching a show called You, which is about stuff. But he made a point of saying it wasn't you who was watching me, but I'm saying he's watching you, but he's not watching you. He's watching a show called You.
Right.
So, yep, that's that. Eric says, are we there yet? So yeah, come along with your. Let's put the banner up because otherwise I'll forget. Your time and telly.
Oh, banner.
What time zone is it you're in? What's your current time, and what are you watching on telly? It doesn't actually have to be telly. Televisual sort of device might be YouTube or Netflix, Prime, Disney Plus, Hulu, any of those sort of things. What is your current series of choice? What are you watching? Are you enjoying it? Should we all be watching it, or anything else? While Dad's here, we could do Dad's new thing as well. It's what I can't remember.
Yeah.
What it was where and weather.
Where
isn't
and
it?
weather.
Where and weather. So
Yeah.
where are you? What time is it? Where you are? Where are you? What are you watching on telly? And what's the weather like? Or what's it been
Yeah,
like
that's
during
the
the
one.
day? Or the current weather at the moment? Jerry hasn't got a thing. I don't mean he hasn't got. He's got a thing, but he's got it in the oven. But he hasn't got a theme. We'll have to come up with a theme for Jerry as to what he's going to ask you.
I have roast duck with either roast potatoes or pancakes.
There you go. It's what you got in the oven and something that starts with an O. What was the last thing you opened?
Gherkins.
Be it a shopping centre or a can of peas. What was the last thing you opened and what you got in your oven? There we go. Right. Raging Basis says, same time, X-Men cartoon from the 90s. I haven't brought myself to watch any of the old cartoons on Disney Plus yet because I'm scared that they're going to be rubbish and I remember them being good. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, it's horrible when you get that.
Yeah. Dave, 8:10 and I'm watching you lot, not the TV programmes. Okay. Tom, hashtag 09 PM here. I think is that 9 PM, just 9 PM, and the first bit was rubbish. I can't. It might be a time 09. In Eastern North Carolina, USA. Just finished Picard. I quite enjoyed Picard. Any of you watch Picard? No?
I'm still watching it, so
Okay.
no spoilers. I got sidetracked by a different series called the Loop. If
The
anyone,
Loop.
yeah, it's on Prime, and it's a lot like the Metal Hurl and those sorts of series where it's a selection of stories based around a single theme. But if you want to look at some like old roboties or mecha type sort of pre-industrial stuff, they've got some really nice scenery and backdrops in it, which is some nice thoughts for some models.
Some point. 5760 says BST just finished Save Me 2 on Now TV. So obviously the same time zone and Save Me 2. I've seen that advertised on a couple of things, but haven't got around to watching it. But Tom says it's beautiful weather at the moment.
Yes, yeah,
that's the one. Yeah.
Pascal, 2120 920 started watching the new series of Gundam Build Divers. Re-Rise that came out today. I understand the words, but not the.
Oh no! Yes, I know what he's on about, and yes, I haven't caught the new episode yet, so I'm looking forward to it.
As long as someone enjoys it, yeah. Sprueglue's about. LD is around first. He says hi, folks. Sprueglue says the virus just got personal. Please, everybody, stay in and wash your hands. Is it you or someone you know has caught it and got it, and you can't catch it through the telly, can you? I'm okay over here. I'll go and wash my hands later, but yeah, I'm sure we're all right. Best wishes to anybody that's suffering or knows someone that is. Stay indoors, wash your hands, don't touch your face. Nat, 8:10, Skegness, nothing on telly. It's been cloudy today. There you go. It's been warm around here. It's been quite hot, sunny.
Yeah, that's here.
It's actually been quite overcast and miserable here today. We had nice sun yesterday, but it's just been overcast, cold, and foggy at places today.
Oh, strange. It's very. I mean, we're obviously UK is small compared to everywhere else on the planet, but we still get localised little bits of nastiness and pleasantness. Skullfish, 2011, avoiding the telly, and it's dank out. Dank. Dank's like cold and miserable and stuff. It can't be.
Yeah.
Is it really? And Tom says hash is 3, so it's 3:09 PM for him. There you go.
I can't remember if it was Skullfish that was up near me, actually, because that would explain the dankness for him, or is he in the States? I can never remember. I forget where people are from.
Eric 310, obviously the same time zone as Tom. Live streams on YouTube. West Central Indiana. It's cloudy and in the 50s after being 80 yesterday. That's not real temperature. That's like really, really, really hot. I think he's talking about the Fs rather than the proper temperature Cs. I don't know what that means, because 80 would be like almost boiling. So no, I don't understand that. You have to translate for us. Jamie is 11 minutes past 8 and watching Police Interceptors, and the sun has just set. The sun is, yes, it's the window that you can't see because I'm on a little camera. The window over here, it's just starting to darken down and set there as well.
Yeah, Skullfish is fairly near me.
Ah, right.
Well,
John,
he's next city over.
He's fairly local, but not outside your front window. 311. I'm working from home, of course, as you should be, responsibly if you can. You should be, or not working at all if you can't, and stuff. Unless you're one of them, heroes of the road, or delivery people, or medical things and stuff. Pascal says 2112, not 20. Why have I got things beeping at me? What's beeping at me?
Windows by the sounds of it.
Paul sent me some pictures, but they're not pictures to do with this. He should know that I'm streaming things live, and I don't know. He's obviously not watching. Speed says Tales from the Loop. Is that the show that you've been watching?
That's the series. It's only about 9 episodes, but it's a bit bleak. It's a bit dark, and it's a bit sort of like it's very similar, sort of like scenery and stuff to Fallout. So you get that sort of stuff.
Just complaining to Paul that he's not watching. There we go. Right. Yes, that's that. It does get better after episode 1. That's painfully slow, apparently. Everybody's saying hello to Gemma. How's your sanity today? I wouldn't want to answer that. I'll let her do that herself. She probably already has. Dave's got a question for you. He says, Dad, what colour are you painting? Is it red?
No.
It's not red.
Liberator Gold it was.
Gold, not red.
No.
Shock horror.
Change, yeah. Yeah. Change from red today.
LD, 812. Chap hunting snakes in the States. Is it like a series or a live thing or whatever? Paul says he's having dinner at the moment, but he might pop in later. Scott thinks it's blue. Probably not. Hi, Red. I mean, Dad, says LD. Spruglu's dad's in ICU, so yeah, best wishes, Spruglu. Hope everything turns out okay.
Yeah.
He's in the best place for him to be in, and hopefully they'll be able to sort it out and get him through it. All the best. Dave says it's been like a summer's day in Portsmouth. Blue Mike sounds like a porn name. I don't know. Well, there you go. Skullfish is saying where he is.
Yeah.
Gemma's been out in the garden a bit because it's been quite nice here. Scott says, a nice biking weather, but not really allowed out on the bike. Not only not really allowed out on the bike, you're not allowed out on the bike. Don't go outside. Bike isn't exercise. You're not allowed to just ride it and say you get exercise. It's not exercise, and you don't need shopping, so stay home.
No, I need to fix my bike. So.
Oh, yeah. Gemma says your pain is upstairs on a live track. Thanks, Dave. Reggie Basis did my first attempt at eyes yesterday. It was not good. Have you put the pictures up in the group? Because we like a laugh as well as saying things are good. We also don't mind saying things are not good.
I only had a chance
when you're painting eyes, you should do it upside down. Not you put yourself upside down, but paint the figure upside down, because then your brain doesn't think they're eyes, and it's easier to do, apparently.
These are extremely old, so excuse the roughness of them, but this was like the first set of eyes that I painted, and it's not going to focus now, is it?
Or we can just
not
about
going to
sort of see them,
focus.
yeah, a little bit. Sometimes a little bit. They look good.
Yeah.
I will post a picture to the group quickly.
That will be the best bit. Yeah,
It's
we'll
an
get to that
old
in a little
one.
while and we'll be able to see them properly.
Yeah, I'm going to have to leg it in a moment. The sounds of it, my duck is ready.
Is it
Not a problem. You can come back with it if you like. Or don't, it's fine. I've already eaten,
Well,
but
no,
I don't
it's
mind getting
more
hungry
the fact I can hear my son go off at my wife and my wife go off at my son, so it's usually a good
Shane
indication.
says it's 8:14. It's been sunny all day. He's been watching YouTube, mostly military modelling inspiration. It's jumped again. This chat seems to be quite busy this evening, so hello to everybody that's watching. If you're watching and not in the chat, then come and join in, because most of the fun's there. It's not us. We're just here, but, the chat's where it's at. Swigging Pig says, my new bike is less than 1 year old, and he's had to sawn it because of all this, the statutory off-road notification thing. So, yeah, that's unfortunate, but for the best. Edward says, South Florida, sunny, 33 degrees C. That's hot. That's not.
That is hot.
It's not uncomfortably too hot, but it's
peak
definitely
summer,
on the
bro.
hot side. If you got to do work in a manual stuff, then that's too hot. But if you've not got to go anywhere, that's probably all right.
Yeah.
Eric says it was 26 yesterday and 10 today. That's quite a shock. Apparently, we've got nice weather tomorrow and Saturday, but Sunday's going to be cold again, I think. But yeah. Dave says, I know it sounds daft, but turn the Mini upside down when painting the eyes. It's strange, but it works. Yes, it's something to do with the way your brain interprets it as being eyes makes you do it differently. Whereas if it's upside down, they're just shapes, and it's easier to get them looking the same or right or something. Jerry says, all our best wishes to you, Sprue. He could have done it with his words, but
Well, you were talking at the time, and
I'm always
I only
talking.
saw the message.
It's my channel. I'm allowed to talk a lot.
Yeah, that's my argument.
Right, I posted that. I'm gonna head off quickly. I'll catch up with you guys.
Not a problem.
little
We
bit
might
later
still be
on.
about, or catch you another time. Thanks, Jerry.
No worries. Speak to you later. Bye bye.
Bye bye. Tom says, how do you manage to not have to get groceries? I'm going out every week to do regular, grocery shopping, but they do grocery deliveries and things, so people are using that a lot now. So, and Dad's got his daughter drop stuff at the door and then runs away.
Yeah. And then waves to me. I even got the garden centre to deliver it to me.
Really?
With me plant
cool.
the greenhouse. So.
Spid apparently is trying to join. His PC blue screen was trying to join. Oh, that means he's not joining on his phone. It might be, a live camera angle rather than stop motion.
Nah.
It might not. We'll see.
Not with Spid.
Scott was hoping to get a new bike this year, but not sure now. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing with not going out at work. Say income's generally less, but you're probably spending less because you're not going out anywhere and doing stuff. So hopefully it'll all balance out. And
he's buying kits, mate.
Yeah.
He's buying kits and paint, so that's why he's not going to buy a new bike.
But you got a big pile of kits already, hasn't he?
He has, yeah. But it's just couldn't resist the ones he saw.
Aries says Toronto, 3 degrees C, mix of sun to snow. That's chilly. Yeah, I like the variety we get. It's good. Spid says, similar to pork, the best bit of a rope duck is the quackling.
Oh.
It makes you glad that he's not made it in, doesn't it, really? Candygram from Mongo says, greetings all, 32 degrees C, overcast in Texas.
Hey, Candy.
Yuru is here, hoi hoi.
Oi, oi.
That's why I'm says Spid. I assume its computer broke again. I don't know. I know, trying the PC to see if it's better. Yes. Dave's complaining about Scott again. You'd have to separate them. You have to put some sort of buffer in between them. The miles are obviously not enough. But
they're a right pair when they're together.
Earl D says, at the moment, I'm working just above a snail pace on my builds. Yes, I got the Baneblade behind me here, or beside me here now, that I've done nothing on for the last 2 weeks. I keep meaning to, and the intention is, and then it's like, so yeah. Tom is down to once every 2 weeks or more. It's like an adventure, only scarier. I don't know what that was about. I don't want to know. We're not going to get into the whole 40 Towers. We're talking about walks or holidays or stuff, is it? No, we're not going into. If you haven't watched 40 Towers, then find it and watch it. But yeah, I don't want to know. Speed says 32 degrees C. Damn, that's apocalyptic weather in Scotland. Yeah, that's pretty warm up there. Yep. At least bit of Q8 bad jokes still don't make me laugh. Yeah, nothing changes there. I wouldn't worry about that. Yeah. Scott says that Dave started it. Yeah. Eric says the hardest part about the issue right now is that Tamiya Canada is 10 minutes from him, and they've got the new GT4 Mustang sitting there to deliver, and they're closed. Yeah, that's annoying, but you know the problem, and you know why it's a problem, and you've got to forgive delivery people for things like that because it's not their fault. And yeah, so yeah. Right. Tom says it's about groceries. Right. Okay. There we go. Down to once every 2 weeks or more. Right. Got you. I understand now. Yep. Scott says he only bought 2 kits this year.
Yeah.
Were they both big ones?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mini arts probably.
I bet they were probably, like planes or spaceships or something, weren't they?
One's a plane, and the other was a tank, I think.
No.
Mini arts has got about 1,200 pieces in it.
Because that keeps him busy for a little while then, won't it?
Yeah.
So, you're building the Warhamster thing, aren't you? Think about it.
Yeah, the Orc Stomper. The huge
big red thing.
Humongous Orc Stomper with all the pipes that go on the back.
All right, yep.
The big guns that go on that's the arm.
Chainsaw arm thing, yeah.
Which I'm on with, and then loads and loads of other bits that you just stick on randomly, apparently.
I think that's pretty much the thing with Orc stuff. You just generally
it's an Orc.
put it on and you can't get it wrong. So
yeah, you just put it where you want to put it. It doesn't matter. So yeah,
you've got to weather it up and yeah.
Just been doing some dry brushing and painting of the arms and the rear stoves on the back.
It's looking good.
Yeah, get there, won't it?
Absolutely, yeah.
Eventually.
Dee's trying to cut down on his wash addiction. He threw a mini in the shame bucket after I overdone the wash. The base I painted, I'm mostly done in glazes and blending. I should be putting pictures up as well because we'll have a look at these things.
Yeah.
Eric says, the tea kettle. It does sort of, a little bit like a tea kettle, yeah.
Yeah, tea kettle, yeah. Teapot.
Yep. You're sitting here with me repulsive and no plastic glue. The horror. I did see someone put up on Facebook, one of the groups, that they just received their delivery of Tamiya Extra Thin, and it was like 4 or 5 bottles of the stuff. I'm like, how do you get through that much of it? What are you doing with that?
Someone who needs a dab device to stop knocking it over, I think.
That might well be the problem, yeah. My hobby shop does curbside pickup, or he'll drop it off, says Aries. And it's beside his grocery store. So, yeah. Right. If we have a look at... I was going to say what's in store. It's not what's in store. That's the e-models thing. This is the gross group. There it is. Look. And here indeed it is. Let me make that a bit smaller. Then I can sit that there, and then I can still see comments and things that people are putting up. Over there. Let me make that a bit bigger that way and a bit bigger that way. There we go. I'll do that. Right. There we go. So this we have Eric's finished diorama. He's completed it and it looks good. This is with the trees that we saw the other week painted silver and the actual things out the garden and things. So yes, looks lovely. One problem, you've got the cars driving on the wrong side of the road though, because you know, yeah. Andy's complaining that the Lucasade isn't red.
Yeah.
You've got the wrong Lucasade.
It's the crush one. The one with crush. Mangoes.
Candygram's asking you if you're able to post an additional video for your Dragon Apollo 11 lander build. Looking forward to episode 3.
I will do when I've edited it, yeah.
So there is stuff to come. The gross gallery, says LD. That would do, yeah. Right, moving onwards. Phil Lewis put this up. This is from the D'Agostini X-Wing part work. There was a thing, I received the information just like the same day or the day after that Phil put it up for me. They basically made a mistake with some of it, so they put in a little thing saying, oh, by the way, that bit we told you to do a few weeks back, yeah, you did it wrong, do it like this instead. So yeah, Roger's been building Star Destroyers. Adam, there we go. This is some D&D mini type thing. I don't know. Is it finished? Is that sword like an ice sword? I would keep expecting that to be flames, but yeah. Eric says you'll be really confused when you get in one to me about something. But what? Oh, cars. Right? Yes. Yeah. If I get in one of them cars, then I'd be sitting there trying to drive it, and they'd have nicked the steering wheel and put it on the other side of the car. Flaming sword. Aries says Age of Sigmar figure.
Ah.
Something went blip. What was that? That was Spid. I'll bring him in. Something went blip. He can be down the side there, as long as he mutes his microphone, mutes his speakers, because otherwise I can hear myself talking in the background. Just
Hello.
after I've said it. It's very confusing.
Hello.
Evening, Spid. Just going through the
right.
gallery.
Hang on. I have a bit of a problem. I can not hear anyone.
If you're working properly, but...
Ah, damn it.
You can play around with your buttons. We can hear you, but, you know, you can't hear me to hear that, so there we go. Steve's doing a super quick Lego build. Not much choice for big kids at the supermarket. He's been building a big digger. And Steve has been doing more
having issues. Yes, I'm having
ways.
issues.
Resin printer, little tiny Space Marines. More ginormous Falcon, the 143rd, I'm thinking. I can't remember now. It's been a while. It's about there. There we go. That's the interior of the Falcon, the bay with the seats and stuff. Frankie, Italeri Mercedes-Benz L3000S, nicely rusted and worn and damaged, and yeah, looking good. Core tube alignment, Phil Lewis says. This was to do with the Saturn V, I think.
Yeah, looks it, doesn't it?
It was, yeah, something to do with that, with things. He's modifying it and making it more realistic, more than the kit. But don't remember exactly what he was doing with bits of it. Cut out the panel for the cryo bay. Cryo bay walls and shelves. And the parts dry fit. Top shelf holds fuel cells, middle shelf holds the 2 spherical oxygen tanks, and the lower shelf holds hydrogen tanks above and below. That's the hydrogen tanks. The silver balls are old plastic BPs. Oxygen tanks and hydrogen tanks test fit in place. It looks like it fits to me. Oxygen tank shelf. Fuel cell shelf. Foil added. Nice and crinkly. Yeah, so that's obviously like the insulation to the correct bay walls, because obviously not all of them needed it. Test fit the shelves with the crinkly bits. Looking good.
In that, yeah.
Getting there, as he says, indeed. Been terrible mistake, says Steve. This is obviously the base of the Captain America shield, not the Millennium Falcon I was expecting. Yeah, it's a bit big. Big metal spider's web, said Dan. Phil, some sort of biplane. I know nothing more about it than that. Phil Lewis is here. Says, looks like I arrived just in time. Hi all. Yeah, you were here just in time, and then a little bit too late. But we've been looking at them. We've come to the conclusion that we like it, even though we don't understand most of it. So yes, it's the 148th Grumman F3F1 from Accurate Miniatures. It's nice. I like it.
Yeah.
Painting turned out to be pretty easy thanks to Tamir and Vallejo. The hard part was putting on those thin black line decals. Since it was a kit from 1999, they tended to break into bits when applying. Yeah, old decals often not good fun. But you did well with them. Looks good. This was what I did on Wednesday night. Wednesday lunchtime, in fact, actually. It's a wooden, what do they call it? Aviator model. It's got plane and a helicopter that spin round and things. It's elastic band powered. That was what I did on the first of the live streams. Come back next Wednesday, same time, same place, same time-ish. Yeah, sort of lunchtime-ish, as long as we're in lockdown. And see how much further I get with it. Tom has put the Polar Lights NX01 on a back burner while sorting out an issue trying to light it without burning up a 9-volt battery. He thinks he solves the problem, then none of his LEDs fit where he wants and can't get all the wires through the tube and the display stand. Now is just my first Star Trek since I was a kid. Yeah, thinner wires would be your answer to that. You can get some really tiny LEDs and what they like nano LEDs or something they call them, micro somethings that are really, really tiny. Sean playing with his, I think it's the solemn set holder, sort of warhammering it up and techno. Yeah, looking good.
Right. Can you hear me at the minute?
We can hear you. We could hear you before.
Are you getting any feedback from my speakers? Because I can't.
Not anymore. It was before, but not anymore. Now you seem to be just you.
Okay, that's good because I couldn't. I can only get sound in my speakers. I can't get them through my earphones. It's all too complicated. This computery nonsense.
D's been doing miniatures. I think we must be near the end of the gallery show through anyway. Then we'll be able to see Spid properly and see if his computer's actually working properly. There's definitely nurgles and stuff going on there, isn't there?
Mm.
Can you see pictures in clarity and stuff? If there's all lines and wrinkles and things across my face, that's the camera quality. It's not me.
I don't know. I haven't looked at you yet. I'm looking at the gallery pictures rather than you pictures, but we'll come to you in a minute. We'll put you on the big screen and we'll find out if you're working properly.
That's a wise move. I don't blame you.
This is Jerry. This is what Jerry's been putting up, I think.
Oh, yes.
Some sort of hover tank, I think he was saying he was working on before. Jason, that's 3D printed, but I don't know what it's for, or if it's for anything particular. Definitely gluing it all together, though. Adam's first attempt at eyes. Yeah, no. I like. Steve says this is why helmets were invented. Eyes are hard. Yeah, try doing them upside down. It might work. This was, as I say, Jerry trying to show it earlier, but yeah. First set of eyes he did 25 years ago. Found it while tidying. They're good. I wouldn't worry about them in the slightest. Frankie, another shot of this weathered. I like the rusting. It's good.
Nice chipping, yeah.
Dave, Scratch built a mimic for D&D. Absolutely, that's properly scary. And that's the end. There we go. That's that. I shall stop sharing. I shall get rid of the window with that. We'll put Spid on full screen. Move around a bit, see if it's stop motion anymore, or if it's still... It's better. It's better than the mobile. It's not quite right, though.
It's a cheap, crappy, old Logitech camera. It's not quite right, though. No.
Yes, we are getting some feedback, but it's all right.
Old Logitech camera.
It's not terrible.
Yes, we are getting some feedback, but it's all right.
I'm getting feedback late. It's not live. Have you got the video playing back? Because if it was feedback through this, then that would be now rather than in 5 seconds. You're not playing it back through YouTube again, are you?
Not that I'm aware of. Is it working now? Can you hear me? Am I muted?
I can hear you. I'm just waiting to see if I can hear me in a minute as well. Not this time. That seems to be better.
We're all right. Okay. I think my it's an old computer. This is my old computer upstairs, and it's an old Logitech potato quality webcam thing. So it's the first time I've kind of tried to set this up. So I don't know what's going on.
It's working. It's all right.
Oh, okay.
Good for the complexion.
Candygram says lovely reverb. Yeah.
Could have a bit of reverb. It's like classic rock thing.
It almost was, yeah. Dave says, Spid, turn your YouTube off. Because, yeah, it was definitely something else playing back. It wasn't now. Because when I say now, you actually hear it almost immediately. Whereas we were hearing it 10 seconds later.
It's definitely paused, unless it had unpaused itself briefly or something.
No idea.
I don't know.
Eric says, put your speakers behind your mic. Well, he's wearing his mic. It's clipped onto his collar there, so...
Yeah, this well, the only other mic I've got is my lav mic, which I use for my voiceovers and when I'm videoing, which is currently tangled up with my camera downstairs. So I suppose if I wasn't such a lazy git, I could actually go and get my laptop and try that, but that means starting it up and everything. Yeah, it's just too much.
Bother. Not for this. If we're going to be here for another 4 hours, then yeah, it'd be worth doing something with. But so we're halfway through, so it's not worth worrying about. But Dave says Spid's blue wall of death is causing the issue. I don't think so. I think it's just a combination of Spid being in the middle of nowhere and having internet powered by hamsters.
This particular computer I hardly ever use. It gets used once in a blue moon when I just have to, if I just happen to be. This is the room where I sit and watch my stuff and whatnot. So I've got a TV that I stream to from my tablet. But so occasionally I'll put the computer on to check if I just want to check what's going on eBay or something. And I've not used this in months, and I put it all on and it seemed to be going okay. It went into the Streamlabs page and then it just died spectacularly with a huge wall of blue and lots of numbers and letters. So
that can't be a good thing, but it seems to be there now.
Jolly good.
So what? I assume you're not at the bench now, or are you?
I am not at the bench at the moment, and I'm actually. I've got no motivation for anything at the moment. I've not been doing anything at all model wise. I've been sort of looking through my kits thinking, is there something quick and simple I could just throw together? Or there's times like this I could do with something like a Gundam, just a snap together thing. But I've not got anything simple. All the kits I've got are, they require processes and efforts and things. And my mojo's just out the window. It's frustrating because at a time when most people are tied to within the walls of their property, it's an ideal time to be doing things, and I've just got no motivation to do it at all.
I'm much the same. I've got stuff, the Baneblade or whatever that I should be getting on and doing and things that the e-models be able to do, and I don't know. I mean, it's free time that I've got, not to be doing other things. There's other things that I should be doing, could be doing, but it's just the knowing that tomorrow is also a free day, and the day after's a free day, and the day after that's a free day.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no structure.
Tomorrow instead. Yeah.
Normally it's like I've got to go to work for the next 3 or 4 days, and then I've got the weekend, and then I can do this. But knowing that there isn't any of that, it makes it tough. It's difficult. Yeah,
I mean, I suppose you've kind of got the benefit, if you want to look at it that way, of your e-models build. Although you've not got a strict deadline, you do have to get that done for e-models. So that's giving you a little bit of drive, a bit of impetus to do.
Yeah, I mean, the great thing about doing the builds for e-models is there is no pressure. They're not, phoning up and saying, you've had that for a few weeks, you haven't done anything with it yet. And
it's admirable dedication, because I couldn't. I mean, when E-Models did that whole looking for a builder thing, I thought I can't do that, because I couldn't commit. I couldn't actually make myself commit to a particular series, get a kit and build it within a time frame and everything else. So I couldn't do that. So it's very commendable that that you do that, and do an excellent job, I might add, as well. So
well, yeah. Osric's about saying hello.
hello.
Jamie says to Spid, you need some Lego. Something you can just snap together. Yeah, and do some Lego.
Yeah, but I don't. Lego doesn't really do much for me. It never did as a kid. I mean, even when my son had Lego and I'd sit and build Lego with him, it's I'd rather build a snap together model kit.
I've got some Lego that I might do at some point on a live.
That's kind of cool, a Star Wars one. But I was just going to say, do you remember the old Return of the Jedi snap type TIE fighters and that kind of thing? I remember building a load of those years ago, and they were good fun. So I'd rather do something like that than Lego. But
any of the Bandai kits to do it, as long as you can get me.
Or a Bandai kit. I might actually have a look and see if I can get a snap kit, because I've got nothing. The simplest things I've got in my pile of kits to do are probably tanks that you could sort of throw together and just slap a bit of paint on. But everything else I've got, vehicles, they tend to be.
These wooden ones are quite good. They just snap together. They're good fun.
Well, that box that you did, I thought was fantastic. I loved that. And I've been looking at that wooden clock kit and thinking, I quite fancy that.
I
but
did like the look of that.
Yeah,
but I see the fact that it only runs for like 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah, I've read a few reviews, and a lot of people are saying that it only runs for a short time. But I'm looking at a plastic one on which is on eBay at the moment. It's a Leonardo da Vinci, like a plastic clock, but it's a working clock, and I'm sort of wondering that one.
Alex is worried about your dad. He says he hasn't heard you. I was thinking you might have fallen asleep, but
Kenneth, I'm surprised you're up.
Then again, he doesn't have much chance to talk with me and Spid on the same stream. Then
well, this is true.
The talk level is already quite high. So, 5760. Hate the lack of structure to my days at the moment. Ooh. Yeah, it is completely new to most of us. Not having a particular time you have to get up or anything like that, or
it's not knowing what day is as well, isn't it?
Yeah, Jerry's back. I'll put him back on the screen.
I'm back.
Today. Hello. For part of the day, I actually thought it was Wednesday until I saw your message saying evening with tonight, and I was like, "Is it? Is it already?"
Yeah, keeping track.
In all fairness, I'm getting thrown out as well. Yeah, it's awful at the moment. There's no structure whatsoever.
Yeah, well, because I work 9 to 5 Monday to Friday, I'm sort of usually really structured. I know exactly where I'm at. You know what's Saturday and Sunday. Because when I've worked shifts before, my days have been thrown around a bit. But because I'm doing regular hours, I know, right, it's Saturday, Sunday, weekend off kind of thing, or it's Monday to Friday, and you know where you're at. But it's bizarre.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. It really is.
I don't know. I mean, that's why I'm doing more of the live streams and things, to give other people and myself something to do and some sort of structure throughout the week. But
that's a good thing. Absolutely. Speaking of which, I was in Collins earlier, and 5760 is it? He was in Collins' stream earlier. I've dropped to subscribe on your channel, and I will be having a look at your videos later. I see you build cars and such, which is all cool because I like cars and motorbikes and the like. So I'll be having a watch of those later. So it's always good if there's something extra to watch, because I think I'm running out of YouTube at the moment. I'm watching some bizarre stuff on YouTube just now because I'm running
I don't want to know about that. No, keep it family friendly. It's
can't really run out
for children, but it's okay for children to watch. Yeah,
it's safe for people to watch. It's not. I've not got to the weird part of YouTube yet. Not
yet. Raging Basically says, my issue is that I feel like I'm out of work, but I'm not, which is good, because when he was unemployed, he was depressed. But got to make structure for myself. Yeah, I've been not setting an alarm clock to go off in the morning. I've been getting up a little bit later than normal if I'm going to work, but not by as much as I was expecting. It's strange. It's one of those, don't know. I can see how days would blend on and on. I've not yet spent a day in my underwear.
I think it's hard to you're saying that, but how do we know?
Because
We
I'm
can
saying,
only see your top half.
would I lie
For
to you?
all we know, your T-shirt could
This
end there.
isn't my pajamas. I don't wear this all. No, I do get up and get dressed.
He's in
every day so
Newcastle
far.
mode.
Yeah, it could have a T-shirt that ends just below the nipple line.
Yeah, no, look. Proper shirt goes
Now,
all the way down.
there's a
It's not a
disturbing
onesie either. It's yeah, it's tricky, but you've still got to, I would say, keep on as normal, but it's not normal. But
you've got to try and keep a bit of a routine, certainly.
yeah.
Absolutely.
Alex is asking if Dad can be excused because we're waiting for him to start the hangout. I thought he already started it before I started this one.
I did. I started it. It's running, Chris.
Did they break it?
They've probably broken it.
They probably broke it. So if you do have to go and look after the children,
Go and
then that's
fix it.
perfectly all right. I don't know. I mean, one of them could start a hangout, but I know they have trouble with technology and stuff. So
I won't say it because we're live.
Eric says, I wake up at 4 a.m. like usual. What? Oh, it's not 4 a.m. You're confused. It's 4 p.m. That's the only 4 that there is in the day. Goes back to sleep and wakes up at 8. Yeah, 8's a more normal time to wake up.
See, I remember. I mean, I can lay in. I'm not one of those epic all day lay in types, but I can lay in a bit when I don't have to get up. But my dad used to get up at sort of 4, 5 o'clock every morning for so many years. When he worked in the steelworks, he used to do crack of dawn shift, and then he was on the post. And when he finally retired, I remember him saying, "Oh, I'll be able to start having a lay-in." And instead of getting up at 4 or 5 o'clock, he'd be getting up at 6 o'clock. And when I still lived at home, I'd hear him sort of banging around downstairs. It was like, it's 6:20. What are you doing? Go back to bed. You're retired.
Jamie's just subscribed to 5760 Scale Models. Indeed, if there's anybody in the chat that you haven't already subscribed to their channel, assuming they make videos, if they don't, then don't bother. But yeah, like and subscribe everyone else's channel and keep.
Well, he was. I think Grant, I think is his name. He was saying on Colin's stream earlier that he's actually just started doing his YouTube again. He has got a few videos on there. But it's just started.
I did notice he was on Colin's stream earlier. I sort of dipped in and out of Colin's stream earlier.
Yeah,
went on for
he's
a
doing
long time.
a 35th scale tram car at the moment, which looks quite nice.
Cool. I think I'm subscribed already. If I'm not, I will be when I've finished. So yeah. Right. So Andy thinks my shirt is actually spandex. It's not. It's not tight. It's got some give to it. It's not. I
don't need that thought. No offense, Chris.
At least it's not a mankini. It could be worse.
Yeah, it could be lots worse. Don't worry about that. Yeah.
There you go. Now, can you imagine that, a mankini live stream? That would be one for the record.
Yeah, I don't think we'll do it. No, let's not do that.
Gross man.
I'm probably sure that if you look through YouTube, you'll probably find that somewhere.
I don't want to look for it. I'm not wearing out my YouTube search history for that, and that will come up as suggested videos.
I don't. I've shared my YouTube with family, and it's like the stuff that I get up now is ridiculous.
If I'm on holiday with my son, and he runs his phone battery flat, or he runs out of data or something. Quite often, if I'm round at friends, I'll be like, "Can I borrow your phone, Dad?" I give him the phone so he can watch YouTube. And then when I go into my history to look for something I've watched, there's reams and reams and reams of absolute garbage, and I think, what kind of junk is he watching? I mean, he probably thinks about the same thing, to be honest.
Yeah, but then, the thing is, next time we say, no, you can't. You shouldn't have.
I don't mind.
It's, well, you sign out before you let him borrow it.
Yeah, I should really, but no, he probably looks at my history and think, what kind of crap are you watching, Dad?
But it's yours. You're allowed to. It's fine.
Yeah, absolutely. I did watch one a couple of days ago. I've been watching a few things on machining and such, with getting that little lathe and just getting an idea of how to use it, because it's all completely new to me. So I've been watching various things on machining, and you get the recommended videos popping up. There's one popped up the other day, and it's entirely in Japanese, no subtitles, nothing. Japanese title, don't know what the thing said at all. but it just looked like and it was a machining project, and it looked interesting. And it was a 3-part thing, and I clicked on that and watched all 3, and until the 3rd video, I'd got no idea what he was making, but it was kind of like a counter-rotating gyroscopy thing. It was really, really cool. And he'd machined the sort of drive shaft and the bearings and the weights, and sort of used a Dremel thing to get them spinning in opposite directions and spinning on a piece of wire. And it was fascinating. No idea what was going on until he'd actually put it together. It's like, oh, that's what it is. YouTube's great.
Sometimes it's nice to watch things you've got no clue about, but
yeah.
Right. That's the chat up to
Right,
date.
I'll nip off, Chris, and check the children.
Not a problem. All right. Send them my love.
See you again soon.
Good
See you,
night.
mate.
See you all.
Bye.
See you, Speed. See you, Jerry.
See you later, Dad. Did you do the gross models page? I missed that I must have been eating when I was doing that. When you were
The pictures, yeah, we went through them.
yeah.
We saw your pictures of your eyes that you did years ago that are excellent. Yeah,
I was quite happy with the way they turned out, considering I was about sort of 15, 16 when I did them.
You really should have been quite happy with those. They came out really well. So yeah.
I've yet to try them again, so fingers crossed that I can keep it up.
Yeah, no, don't do it with your fingers crossed. That makes it harder to paint. It's tricky enough without doing that.
What about if you cross your eyes as well as your fingers? Maybe that'd cancel it out.
Yeah. Well, apparently that's what doing it upside down helps to correct, because that you can get them pointing in the same direction easier if you don't see them as eyes. Or I don't understand it.
It's an interesting idea. I've not heard that.
It's a thing that I've heard from several different sources.
I'm not great.
I will be getting my big magnifying glass out though.
Yes, magnifying. Yeah, for all of us is pretty much a given, because you need that, because we've got old eyes and they don't work as well as they used to.
Sadly, yes.
Either my eyes are getting worse or my arms are getting shorter, because I have to hold things further away.
Yeah, it's one or the other. I have the same problem. I do. It's terrible, this getting older business. It's not good for you.
I'm just slightly missed because I've been working on my Tyranids for my Warhammer 40,000 army, and I've actually not got the paint to paint them. I've got all the time now to do it, and I stocked up on other army stuff, paint, but not for the Tyranids, because I wasn't planning on doing those for about another 6 months. And then I'm just distraught because you can't get hold of stuff either. I mean, I was having a look through Amazon. I was even looking on Amazon and such stuff, but the prices have just doubled.
Right.
Yeah, people have been complaining about prices of stuff going up. I saw something on a supermarket Facebook post about prices of fresh vegetables has gone up, and you're fleecing the customers in this time of need and stuff. It's like, well, yes and no. I mean, it's costing them more to get stuff in because there's fewer people about, and
if it's fresh produce, then obviously they're having to get it in, and if it's costing them more to get in. But that said, my local co-op's expensive anyway. It's a small village. You've really got no other choice. We've got a maze and a local co-op, and that's a lot. Which is why we praise Asda Home Delivery. It's the Asda Home Delivery van turns up, we'll go outside and bow down to them, because without them would be skint. but the local co-op has not noticeably increased the price of anything that I can see. So I think it must just be in certain places.
Raging Rose is asking you what paint you need. And
I've just messaged back.
Dad's asking if it's any Mephisto head you're after.
No.
He might have a couple of cans of
He
that.
might have 1 or 2 pots.
No, I'm technically after just a spray, just because I've got so many of the Hormagaunts to do. At some point I might just break out the airbrush, but pick it up from that. I've been using that actually.
Had permission to pour a bourbon. I take it you don't mean the biscuit. You can't pour them. It doesn't work the same way. Actually, if I've got to bring up comments, that doesn't work as well. That works better on that picture.
I've had any of those for years.
Andy's going to have to get his eyes checked now. The left eye's been playing up somewhat fierce. I don't know that now's the best time to worry about opticians. My optician's shut. I wear contact lenses. I don't wear glasses, but same sort of thing. I just ordered contact lenses like the day before the lockdown came into place, and I thought, oh well, I guess I'll be going back to wearing glasses at some point during the lockdown because I'm running out of contact lenses, disposable things.
You had those sort of like 1 a day throwaway jobbies.
Yeah, I wear them, basically just put them in and forget about them for a month.
All right.
Like monthly disposable permanent wear
I've
things.
never
Great.
been
You
able
do
to do
take them
that.
out daily though, don't you?
Really good. You just go to sleep, wake up, I can see.
Oh, you actually wear them. You sleep in them and everything.
Yep.
I thought you had to
Ooh.
take them all out. Sort
No,
of daily.
I can't remember what they're called, like extended wear or something. It's a thing. It's not just something that I do. It's something that's meant to be done. You're meant to wear them for weeks on end, and that's it. But I have 1 month left in my stash for next month, and then thought, oh, well, after they've gone, if I'm still in lockdown, that'll be that. I got a phone call from the opticians saying, we've got your lenses in, but we're shut. Do you want us to post them to you? It's like, oh yeah, that'd be lovely, thank you.
Oh, well, that's all right then, at least. Yeah.
Not too
See,
bad.
I've only ever worn sort of like for cosplay, Halloweeny kind of things. I had some
because then I can't see.
I had some sort of freaky yellowy type ones which I wore for a Halloween thing a few years ago. But I've never actually tried proper contacts. I do remember years ago, the first time I ever saw contacts, we had a teacher at school who stood there in front of the class and popped one of her contact lenses when they were hard ones as well. And they got like a little suction cup with the case.
All right, yep.
They popped one of the contact lenses out for us all to see. So all the school kids were all like, oh, that's gross, because it was like popping a bit out of her eyeball.
Yeah, watching people put them in and taking them out used to.
Yeah.
I've been wearing them for
Oh, no, I
years
can't
now,
do
so.
it.
It's weird, isn't it, when you
I
see
can take
them
one
like,
out now if you like, if it will help.
about it.
Oh, no.
But this teacher, this particular day when she did that, she'd come into school and she was partway through the class, and then she said, I'm going to have to go and swap my contact lenses because I've just realised, she said, I wasn't seeing right this morning and I wasn't sure why, and she'd mixed up the left and right.
Ah, right, yep.
So she'd got them in the wrong eyes. It just occurred to her what she'd done. At which point we were all like, "Oh, contact lenses!" So we're like kids being curious. So what? So she ended up taking them out in the class, and we all thought it was gross and fascinating at the same time.
Yeah, luckily my prescription is actually identical between the two eyes. It didn't used to be, but a couple of years back sort of leveled out and became the same.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. I've just got
mine are different eye to eye, only slightly.
Yeah, it's not a good idea to swap them from eye to eye because if you do get an infection or whatever, then you just spread it across.
Yeah.
But when I open a new pack, it doesn't matter which one's which. It's just that that one can go in an eye, and that one can go in an eye. It's nice. Aries says those contacts make your eyes so blue. Actually, no, they're not coloured at all. These are my natural eyes. And Andy says, and Jerry runs for the hills. Yeah, I won't take my lenses out live on the telly.
It's the only thing that I can't do eye drops. I've had to have people hold me down to put eye drops in.
Yeah.
I'm not too bad with the spray. You just spray on the eyelids and then that's fine. I love that stuff now. But as I said, I got a month's supply once of contact lenses when I originally tried them. And I went through about 15 days worth just trying to get the first pair in. I got the first pair in and went, no, I can't deal with this. So I never wore them again.
I never thought that I'd be able to do it, and I particularly wanted these cosplay ones for this Halloween thing, and I remember ordering them, thinking I'm just not going to be able to do this. And they're kind of semi-soft. They're not like soft jelly. Like, I don't know what ordinary ones are like, but they are sort of soft. You could fold them. No, obviously you're not supposed to, but you could fold them. And it took me, I think it must have taken me about an hour and a half to actually pluck up the courage to finally get the first one in. And then you look in the mirror and you can see it sort of float into place. It's the weirdest thing. Or if you blink, you can see it. Sometimes it'll get dislodged and then floats back into place. It's bizarre, really bizarre. But after I'd got that first one in, it took me about 2 hours to actually pluck up the courage to get the thing back out. What really freaked me out is putting the finger like that so close to your eyeball and getting it back out. It was
the putting it in is the bit where you see the finger coming towards your eye, and then there's that moment of that's not right. But I say after having done it for 20 odd years, it's not a problem.
It's like literally every attempt, or like your fingers going towards it. Right, shut the eye.
Yeah,
shut the eye.
I'm like that with eye drops. I can do eye drops if I hold my eyelids open and somebody drops it in. But if I try and drop it in myself, I cannot. I just can't keep it.
No, yeah.
Because I blink. I just can't stop myself.
I occasionally have trouble getting them out. I
The
just
contact,
can't
yeah.
get them out, and you just think, well, I've got to get it
Well,
out because it can't stay there. I've
Weirdly,
got one out, and the other one just won't come out for some reason. So you're
those
almost sort of
I
clawing
got-
at your eye trying to pull it out. But
those
Ooh,
that I got, I think you could. I think they'd last something like a month. You could use them for like a month, and then you had to discard them. Obviously, you put them in solution and whatnot.
Yeah.
After I'd worn them sort of 2 or 3 times, it was when I was visiting some friends in California, and there was a big Halloween thing going on, and I'd worn them 2 or 3 times, and I actually got much better at taking them out, because when you take them out, you kind of I found that you put your finger up like that and pinch them,
Yeah.
and they came out really easily. And because you did that, you weren't sort of poking directly with one finger, so it didn't freak me out as much. But yeah, putting them in is still a bit weird.
yeah, Aries says I can put my own in, but watching someone else freaks me out. Yeah, I understand that. And anyone else touching my eyes, I want to slap. No problem touching my own though. Poke, poke.
Tell you what would be funny.
When I've been to the optician, and actually the previous optician that's just retired used to take them out for me. It's like, do you want me to take them out? It's like, yeah, you might as well, because I sometimes had trouble, and it just does it. It's done, sorted, no trouble at all.
No, I don't think I could do that. No, that freaked me out.
He does it in a different way. He doesn't do the whole grabbing and twisting from the sides. There was something about just sort of pushing from the bottom, and it just sort of happened. It just sort of pops out. It's like, okay, I don't know how you do that.
I'll tell you what would be funny though, is if you knew somebody with a glass eye, just get them to sort of do that, you know, in somewhere like a pub, and then pop the eye out. Oh, just watch everyone freak out.
I think my
great.
optician would probably notice if I had a glass eye.
Yeah,
I'd hope that they would be aware of me having to have a glass eye at some point.
Oh.
Well, we've now freaked out most of the viewers. In fact, the viewer numbers have gone down because people are blinking and eyes are swinging and stuff.
No, can't do it.
It's kind of like the Locutus of Borg, you know, the Picard when he was Borgified. There was a clip that they kept showing, and it made me cringe. And it was
the drill.
That drill thing going bzzz, and it was like, oh, stop it.
Yeah, there's a game, one of the Dead Space games. I think it was the second one, that's got a bit in it where you'd have to inject yourself in the eye. And it's a gameplay thing, and you have to sort of hold the eye with one joystick and move the needle with the other to get it. And it freaks you out even doing it. It's like, that's just not right.
Oh, I can
But
imagine.
I mean, that's a needle going. It's not, if it was a contact lens going on, then I'd have no trouble with it. But needles and no, you can take that away and not bother with that.
No, just no.
Dead Space 2, says Andy. Yep, it was very. The first one, I didn't play the first one. I got the second one first. The second one came out, and it was a big, big launch of the game, and the people in the game shop said, "Yeah, the first one was great. You got to play it and get this." So I started the second one and got sucked in. It was really good. Ended up having to buy the first one and playing through that, and then starting the second one again because it sort of continues on. But then, unfortunately, the third one was a bit rubbish. But yeah, the first Dead Space, I was jumping like an idiot. Yeah, never walked past the body without stomping it.
Is it jumping as part of the game, or just jumping because?
It's a very scary game. It's a space horror.
Right, jumping from fear.
Yeah,
right.
Jumping scared.
It's so well done as well. They did it perfectly. It's just so awful like that.
I will have to play it again at some point.
Literally, if they ever brought that out as a virtual reality game, it would be something that I would never touch with a 10-foot barge pole.
Yeah, Resident Evil in VR, I haven't finished.
Yes. No.
It's
When I was in California visiting my friends for that Halloween thing, one of my friends was trying to convince their partner to go on this Halloween adventure, and you went to this house where you got kidnapped and dragged off and tortured, and you basically you had to sign a disclaimer saying, if I end up having a heart attack and dying, it's entirely my choice. I chose to do this.
Yep.
And there was a promise that they couldn't actually physically hurt you. They couldn't do something like, they couldn't put a bag over your head and stick you in a tub of water or anything like that. But they would, you'd be in a room and then all of a sudden you'd get like, a bag over your head and you'd get dragged off and kidnapped, and then you'd find yourself tied to a chair and you'd be sort of quizzed and questioned and like all this kind of stuff. And I thought it sounded absolutely hilarious. I think that'd be an absolute riot. But yeah, they were like, no.
I did a similar thing years ago in the Trocadero in London. It was an Alien.
Yes, I was just about to mention that.
Yeah,
that was good.
I did it, and at some point throughout, you're sort of being guided through by a marine or whatever, and the alien sort of comes around and will literally just grab one of the hunters and sort of pull them off, and that was it. And it did actually come around and sort of clawed at me, but I sort of turned around and pushed, and he sort of, we're not going to struggle with you, we'll pick somebody else. Yeah. So I don't know what happened when they did it. Obviously, they let you out through a different door or refunded you or something if it was at the beginning. I don't know. But
what we ended up doing instead was going to Universal Studios. And we went there for the day, and then during the evening there was because The Walking Dead was a big thing just then. It was all new. And they did a Walking Dead studio backlot tour, and that was the similar kind of thing where you went on this guided tour through the thing, and then you got on a little train thing, like golf carts with carriages, and that took you to another part of the lot, and then you walked around this thing, and there were zombies would jump out at you. The only difference with that is they weren't actually allowed to touch you, and you weren't allowed to touch them. I suppose they're not allowed to touch them was to stop people freaking out and punching them or something.
Yeah, it must be.
With the makeup and the zombie stuff. And you'd be walking along where you'd have sort of chain link fencing on one side, and then all of a sudden you'd get 2 or 3 of them and just dive at the fencing and rattling like, whoa! That was pretty good, but
not much fun.
They weren't allowed to actually sort of grab at you or something or whatever.
Shane's mother-in-law has to have injections into her eyes every few weeks.
Yeah,
macular degeneration.
That's a while.
And that sort of any sort of injections I don't like. Of anything, but
I remember my dad.
You get used to it, I would expect, after a certain.
Agonising.
Yeah, it's Westworld on a budget. It basically was. People dressed up as whatever.
Yeah,
it was
playing a part.
We did back when I was living down in High Wycombe. I was doing airsoft. We did a night as like a zombie night, and we all dressed up for it. So we went out at midnight into one of the sites, into the woods, pitch black. We're all going around, and we had this set course that we had to go through. We had to escort people through, and literally we started off just walking, and by the end of it, we were just pissing ourselves running the last bit of this course because people were just shambling around in the woods. We all took turns, so we're shambling around in the woods, and some people went really quite severe with the makeup and decorations, and pitch black, you're walking through the woods, it's like your lights off in the distance, all of a sudden you see this shambling corpse just coming at you. It was just tremendously fun.
That sounds good. I'd love to have a go at airsoft. I would absolutely love to.
I used to do paintball quite a lot, and there was a couple of
I did
not zombie themed, but
didn't actually do paintball as such. I had a paintball day which was like organised. Wasn't a stag do, but it was that kind of thing years back when I lived in South Yorkshire. But it was a paintball day with a group of us, and that was fun. But it wasn't. It was really sort of organised. So I could imagine you could have much more fun if there was a group of you that did it regularly.
Yeah.
But airsoft, I'd love to have a go at. Just sneaking around the woods and just.
Yeah, that was good. I've just seen a message from Red Len come up about the War of the Worlds experience, which is down in London. I've done that. I was on the trial. I was part of the trial group that went in on the first few tries. I actually met the composer. We actually went through with the composer.
Cool.
Like me, I can't remember his name.
Was this the recent BBC version thing?
No, it's the War of the Worlds experience. They basically God, I cannot remember his name. My friend was a big fan, so he was like a geardy schoolgirl when we met him, and we went through with him. And it's
not
they did
the Jeff
this like
Wayne
VR. Yeah, Jeff Wayne. That's it.
Right.
And he was, it was a really good, fun experience. They do this 3D. You wear this VR headset, and they were adjusting all the VR stuff when we went to trial it. And there's some bits that make you really sick because it's just throwing around and everything. But it was really good. It's through the music and the story that he did for composing it. That
cool.
story. It actually really was. My friend was mildly miffed because we went early. He couldn't get any sort of like merchandise for it because they hadn't started selling it at that point. But again, it was made up with the fact that he went through it with Jeff Wayne. So he actually made a T-shirt specifically for it. We went and travelled down for it, and he was Adam. And he made a T-shirt for it, so it was quite cool.
Yeah, the trouble is, I mean, the current global pandemic thing. It's terrible, but at least it's not zombies or aliens.
Yes.
So, it could be much worse.
Or alien zombies.
Yeah.
Yes.
But yes, no, it was good. I would recommend it. They have sort of streamlined it a lot since we did it. But it was a good laugh. At the moment, you're not going to get into it because of obviously the social distancing and such stuff. But
everything like that shut. But yeah.
Well, it's funny. My son keeps talking about having a weekend in London because he went a couple of years ago with his mum, and they went to the Harry Potter thing and everything, which he really enjoyed, the Harry Potter experience. And obviously, there's loads of stuff down in London. And I've taken him to Edinburgh a few times, and Edinburgh's cool, but obviously, it's, down in London, there's much more to do. So every now and again, he'll sort of mention how much he enjoyed these days out that they did in London. So I said at some point we'll actually have a weekend. We'll go down and have a weekend there, and we'll go and find some cool stuff to do. So I might have to have a look for that.
Yeah,
but if you ever want to head down,
don't do it yet,
I'm more than happy to take you and guide you around. It's been a while since I've lived there, but I'll quite happily go down.
Yeah. Keaton Carr is here. I haven't seen your name before, but welcome. Saw War of the Worlds live at the Albert Hall.
Nice.
I've heard about it. I've seen like the videos of it, but yeah, that'd be quite impressive. And Iru says, food starts disappearing, zombies won't be the worst of it.
That's how zombies begin. That's how you get zombies.
Red Lane had a ticket for a review but couldn't make it, so I've rebooked. Hopefully, you've rebooked for a good few months in advance because nothing's going to be happening next month, I think.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, I was saying in the stream earlier, there was Nat Williamson, I think it was. They live in, I think do they live in Wainfleet? It's near Skegness anyway, because I remember it was mentioned on one of the Monday streams before. And I lived in Skeg for a couple of years, round about when I was, about 1920-ish. And I lived down there and worked down there for a couple of seasons. And I've got really sort of fond memories of it. And I was saying it must be really weird just now, because this is when Skegness would be getting busy. And when it's busy, all through the tourist season, the town itself is heaving, always heaving because of all the touristy shops and everything. And my favourite time when I was living down there was winter. And I used to, my mate, me and two other mates, and one of them, Wainfleet, there you go. One of them had his dog. And wintertime, when we weren't working, I'd get up in the morning, take the dog, and we'd just walk miles on the beach. I used to walk from Chapel to Skeg and back along the beach. And it's like, I think it was 6 miles by road. So it was a really good walk, knackered the dog out, and it was just fantastic seeing the beach with hardly a soul, because you're not actually allowed to take dogs on there during summertime for obvious reasons. But yeah, I liked Skegness at that time of year because everything was really quiet. You could go into town and it'd be really quiet, but it must be like that, but even more so just now because of the social distancing thing. But she was saying that they're still getting people turning up with suitcases like they're going on holiday. And we've got the same problem here. Most of the ones in camper vans, thankfully, I think a lot of them got scared off because quite a lot of the locals up in the north of the island started to get a bit militant.
I thought you meant that they turn up in camper vans and when overnight you nail up the doors.
So most of the camper vans are sort of buggered off. But the problem is there's a few people who've got holiday lets that they don't live in, you know, second homes or holiday homes, that kind of thing, that they're still letting them out because they can price gouge on them and make a bloody fortune. And there are families that will pay it. So we've still got tourists up here, because you know who's local and you know who's not, round and about. And you're seeing people and you think, you know, you see, especially a family, and you're like, no, I don't know you. I've never seen you around here before. And you know, it's people that are still up, and you think, well, why are you doing this? What are they, you know, let's go and self-isolate up in the Highlands. Let's go from a city potentially carrying a virus. And I mean, I remember Scott saying, putting a post up on Facebook saying that they've got the first recorded case in Orkney. Now, somewhere like Orkney, it should be easy to lock a place like that down and prevent it from getting there. So there's absolutely no hope for somewhere like here, where you've got an island that's accessible by a trunk road and a tiny little village, which is where I am, just before the bridge, you know. And people still coming up on holiday because, oh, it's fine. Yeah, we'll go up there. It's all nice and quiet and safe up there. And then we'll moan about everything being closed.
You'd have thought, but by now people would realise that it's not a holiday. Stay at home.
I know.
I mean, if you don't have to go out to work, or if you're working from home, then you've got to stay at home anyway. If you don't have to go to work, then yes, it's tough staying at home, but it's staying at home. It's not, you know.
I mean, you've only got to look at the news. It's common sense stuff. It's not rocket science, is it?
Absolutely. Keaton Carr is asking, I assume me, because it's behind me, am I going to be modding the Terminator build to turn the head? No, that's a bit beyond my modding ability. Let me just put myself on the screen there so you can see a little bit of him down there. No, the extent of my modding and upgrades on him have been solving a couple of little problems and just general weathering and making it look a little bit more realistic. I know people have gone the whole hog and adapted it and made the head turn and things like that. But no, the jaw's going to open and close and the eyes are going to turn left and right because that's built into it. But I won't be doing anything else more serious with it. So, no.
Important question for the Terminator: are you building Carl or are you building the Terminator from the first movie?
It's from T2 actually, apparently. So I think I can't remember. No, it might just be from the first one. I think. It's
theoretically they should have both been the same model, but then
they're the same chassis, aren't they? It's the programming that's different, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Right. It's approaching the end of the show now, then. So I shall get rid of you two, and then I'll lock up and make sure the doors are secure and everything. So Jerry's on the right of my screen here, so I shall get rid of him first. Thank you for coming in, Jerry.
Oh, thanks very much.
Enjoy your duck. Enjoy your duck a bit
I've
later
eaten
on.
it. No, I've eaten it already. Yeah, it's gone.
How was it?
It was crispy and nice and very, very tasty and didn't last 5 minutes.
We all hate you a little bit now, so you could have said it was
I'm
horrible.
just going to go off to a toffee and pecan roulade in a minute. So.
I'll leave you to it then. Thanks for coming in.
No, boys.
Good night.
Cheers, Jerry. Bye.
And Spid, thanks for coming in. Yes, this computer seems better. It's not quite right, but it's better.
No, I will try my laptop next time, which hopefully is a little bit more modern and hopefully should have a slightly better camera. So
yeah, more lights as well is probably your best bet.
Yeah,
more lights can also help with the frame rate. It doesn't have to work so hard. So
I should have if I'd have thought about it. What I could have done is just got my
turn a light on,
little torch, and gone for a bit of mood lighting.
See, it's already better. Yep. So thank you very much. I shall remove you from the screen.
Guys. Bye.
And then there was me. Thanks everybody for watching as well. That's the most important thing because we're just chatting and hanging out. It's getting late. I'm tired. So thank you all for watching. As ever, wash your hands, don't touch your face, and stay at home. Stay at home is not tricky. Stay at home. Tomorrow I shall be doing another live stream where you don't have to look at this. You can just look at this. Not the wooden thing. That's on Wednesdays. I'll be doing some more nano bricks tomorrow. 1 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. So just after dinner. Come and watch some of that. Everybody in the chat is just saying good night to everybody. Is indeed. Good night to everybody. Thank you all for coming in. Thank you especially to my patrons. I'll put the things in the chat. I haven't been pushing many buttons during the stream. Thank you to my patrons for helping to support, especially through these dark and trying times. If you would like to join their ranks, there's a link to my Patreon page there. Consider coming along and helping to support me. Or just continue to watch the videos. As I say, like and subscribe. And I'll see you tomorrow, 1 o'clock, for the thing. That's Friday, yes, because it's Thursday today. That's on Friday. So after that, Saturday and Sunday, indeed, there's not much going on because it's Eastery type stuff. I'll get rid of that because there's nobody else talking to me at the moment. It's Easter type stuff. So yeah, nothing Saturday, Sunday, or indeed Monday. No e-models this week. Tuesday, I expect I'll do another stream, be it Lego, Nano, something. Wednesday, more wooden stuff. Thursday, back here for this again, and that's another week done. So thank you all for coming along. If you're outside when you shouldn't be, go indoors, says Andy. Indeed, that's yeah. Stay indoors, wash your hands, and I'll see you soon for more stuff. Thanks for watching. Good night.